Hi, all. I really need some thoughts about my current situation. Maybe I just need to read what I think all by myself and see if it's one of those situations where I normally think the guy is stupid and should leave. My wife and I have been together for 10 years. For both of us, it was our first relationship. We have a son, who was turning 3 in June. Half a year ago, my wife told me that she was not happy with us and not really sure why. We talked a lot about it, and in the end, she blamed herself for it. We were young when we came together, and by now we've reached everything in life we've hoped for. We have a house with a pool and garden, a loving family, and a wonderful son. We make more than $300,000 annually. No worries in our life. But she was unsure if everything was over in her life, and what she might have missed. Nothing left to strive for. She said that it was stupid, and even told me that it has nothing to do with me, as I did everything in my life just for her and my son. She told me she will try her best to get over it, but from this moment on I was very suspicious, as this is the typical story of how a relationship ends. My wife was never very needy regarding sex, and we had a good sex life for the majority of our relationship. Some dry spells of 2 to 3 weeks were in there sometimes, but nothing serious. She always had an orgasm. We tried different things. Nothing to be missed from the sexual aspect. Now, fast forward to what has happened. I found out she deleted Facebook messages by accident when she forgot to log out Facebook on my computer, and a message popped up and disappeared. It was just some chatting, nothing serious, but she said she hid it because I might misunderstand it and wanted to spare us from a discussion. I knew by fact it was nothing serious, but still I was very mad that she hid it. It wasn't even this guy, and it was really just some chat, but she was afraid this could hurt us. I need to mention this, as I also felt betrayed right there. It was kind of the first betrayal. I forgave her. I told her that things like that are unhealthy. I know men first some chats, then some flirting. Next time drunk at a company event, they try to touch her, etc. She should shut off things like that as a married woman. 1 week ago, I had a bad feeling. Can't really tell why. I was never the stalker type of man. But as I got her a new iPhone for our anniversary last week, I knew she had a backup on her notebook, and I decided to restore it on my old phone. And then it struck me. My heart shattered and beat like 2,000 RPM. I found a text of him saying he loves her and wants to be with her. He is a co-worker, married with 3 children. I found videos of himself. He sent her. I found nothing of her. I immediately confronted her and she confessed that she had sex within 2 weeks ago. He was very pushy and already tried to kiss her once before, which he blocked but never told me about. Then, on another day in work, he talked her into a separate room to talk about it with her, and immediately started to make out with her and opened her jeans, which eventually led to sex. She told me she didn't know how to get out, tried to refuse half-heartedly, didn't say no, and let it happen. She knew it was wrong and was thinking about how it would be the end of everything, but couldn't stop. It waited for it to be over. It lasted for 2 minutes. He came on the floor and she didn't feel anything. She left and sat in the car crying before picking up our son from the kindergarten. She cut off all contact and deleted everything. Told him to delete everything, but he sent the messages I found. Since then, there hasn't been any contact or messages from her side, and she can avoid him all day at work if she wants to. I was furiously mad about how she could have done something like that, and told her everything is over and plan how we will get divorced. She just resigned. She knew what she did was horrible and cried the whole time while I treated her like the last scum on earth as I was broken mad. I didn't want to see her and wanted her out of my life. She wanted to leave me after it happened, but she didn't know how, and she just couldn't because she's madly in love with me. I found out before she found how to do it. We had a family weekend planned the very next day, which I knew my son was looking forward to for weeks. My parents, her brother and wife, my nephew. So I just manned up for my son and didn't want to ruin it for him. And the family ended everything. We had the chance for 2 long talks, 3 hours, where I was able to listen and talk to her normally. I know she really regrets what she did, and I know she was confused with her life for more than 6 months, and seeing me breaking down and cutting her off hurt her. She wants to quit her job, do counseling, anything just to keep our marriage alive. She would sign any contract that she will lose everything if it ever happens again. Anything. I always thought once, a cheater always a cheater. If I ever get cheated, I'll leave instantly. I did it right, like I promised. Myself when I found out, but every time I see her or my son, I just can't do it. It's the worst with my son. I love him more than anything else, and I get sick of thinking that I will just be able to see him 1 to 2 days a week if I divorce. I get sick of the thought that at some point in my life there will be a second father figure for him if my ex-wife will find a new guy. I could vomit just thinking about it. Even more, as I did nothing wrong, multiple times. Reassured by her, I didn't treat her badly or didn't give her enough attention. It was just her confusion in life, which he promised me 100 times is now over. She wants me. She wants our family. 1 mistake in 10 years. Nothing ever happened before. I always loved her. She was the one I wanted to get old with, the one I could trust blindly. My beautiful angel. And now I can't even look at her without seeing the scene. I really wanted a healthy family all the time. I want to be with my son. I want to be his father. But it made me so mad that we had to talk about her confusion in life that I offered her to go for counseling, which she refused, as she knew it was just her. She was mad at me for pointing out that this might leave her open for an affair and denied it. I saw it coming all along and couldn't do anything. And now I'm sitting here thinking about if it is possible to carry on, if it is worth carrying on. I think everything would be over if it wasn't for my son, for the family I dreamed about. I do not want everything that will come towards me if we end this. She can't afford the house. I'll have to take another mortgage to bail her half out, as she is in the contracts, even though I pay for everything about $300,000. She is only working 25 hours to do household chores and take care of our son. She will move out with my son. I can't stand it. I can't decide what. I can't stand less being with her and seeing the lies and the cheating she did to me, being without the love of my life and my son and missing them, being financially ruined, even though I could stand that part, but it is still something to consider under non-emotional aspects. I really believe her remorse and that she has cleared up her mind and how it happened. I don't know if I'm a naive, stupid duck and just want to believe it that hard. That's why I needed to write it down. I don't want to be a stalking control freak. I never didn't let her do any night outs or anything else. But right now it's hard for me to trust her. But I might turn into one. Can I ever trust her really? Again, she is now a person I never thought she could be. I'm also afraid how it might change me. There were multiple occasions where attractive women tried to flirt with me and I just shut it off immediately and went away. Maybe next time I'll be thinking, duck it, she did it too. But that would be a betrayal to myself. So I think I should be able to handle my personality. I can't wrap my head around how she wasn't able to predict that, to shut it off, how she just let it happen, just because she liked to get affection anywhere else too. Even though she had more than enough from me, just because she liked compliments and thought everything was a joke. So any of you went through a similar situation? How did you handle it? Have you ever been able to look at your so in a loving way again? Am I exaggerating? It was just a small physical mistake. She could have been harassed or escaped too, and I would need to live with it. Any other woman I could meet and get intimate with could have had a similar situation just 2 weeks ago, and it would be nothing of the matter. There are people living in an open relationship. A friend of mine even drives his wife to her dates and is happy to watch. My head is just ducked at this point. Update. We're currently going through divorce process after I considered staying multiple times, but I can't get myself to actually stay. Trust is broken and this is no longer a real marriage. There are so many problems to stay, which all of you know about. But I'm afraid of losing my 100 family time with my son that I will only see him for 6 days and 14 days. That's the most I can get. My STBXW could easily go for weekends only, and our crappy loss system would allow her to. She made it and accepted it, that 60-40 way. I always loved the idea of having a family and all the time together. The only way to have this for real would be to stay in Considerar. But even if I get a 100% guarantee that it will never happen again, I'd still have to be around a person. That was really awful, but I didn't see it. I do not know if I can ever do this, or if I'm just too resentful. And the thing is, I actually think she is really remorseful, and that she has changed or will change. But on the other hand, doesn't everybody think exactly that they actually got the one that has changed and will never do it again? Like I also thought I got the one that will never do all this crap. Feels like I'm going blind again, just to believe in a family life that I will take the burden of never being fully happy instead of my son. I know for sure that it could be a good time for all of us, and it won't be toxic, and my son would not notice anything. We were able to pull this off for 3 months now. What she's offering? I did not ask for it, as I do not see any future. Being a policeman in my own marriage, she is changing her job, sending GPS whenever she goes anywhere, agrees to weekly or unannounced phone restore so that she can't delete anything. I always had access to all of her accounts and her phone, installing spyware on her phone, going to MC, living with the fact that I will never love her again like it was before. Divorcing under my terms right now, so that assets are split, and so there won't be any discussion that she receives anything more if we separate in the future. Postnup as a scam, according to my lawyer, as anyone could argue against it in the future, even though it's mutually signed. Going to a lie detector test to prove that there isn't anything left, that she is hiding, selling her new car as they were in it. She has already spoken to all family members, admitted to it, and apologized as much as she could. She has admitted to an affair that I would never have known about, so she really came clean for this one time. She answered all the questions I had about this awful history. She is willing to answer every question that might come up. She made plans for a new room for our boy, planned vacations and trips together, and planned our future. This made me really uncomfortable, as I told her that there might not be any future. She understands and stops and will try to make me comfortable in small steps. She only did this to prove that she thinks about us in future and is willing to give everything. She gave her biggest respect and thanks that I was staying and thinking about my decision for the last 3 months. She understands that I can't be with her, and I do not want a relationship. She hoped that she would have got more time to prove that everything will be better in time, will heal my wounds, that she will do everything needed to make my son and me happy. She tries to let go of me and will try to stop talking about everything she could do, and that she needs more time just to show respect for my decision to leave and stop making me feel worse by clinging on to me. She really wants to try, but she can't let go of me and her family for now, and still wants to find ways to work this out. I could ask anything from her. She is not giving me any blame for being unhappy and taking these wrong decisions. She knows that she could have fixed everything by herself and didn't need to run away, that it was stupid and unmature, that nothing that made her unhappy was my fault, that I couldn't have done anything differently. She will never find a man like me and didn't value what she had in me. She hates herself for it and expresses it multiple times. She apologizes to me not only for cheating, but also for ruining our family and my life. She really did never think about her consequences, and always thought that she would wake up from her adulterous behavior, that no one would ever know about it, and she would be better to me than ever. She never saw that she would ruin me, our own little family, and everyone around us. That her own family will treat her with disrespect. She never had a thought about getting caught and really hurting someone. That no one would get hurt because no one would ever know. She saw the abyss now and admits that it is awful. That she can only see this now. That she should have known about it all the time, and that she's no longer a stupid 12-year-old girl. That she sounds like a selfish, she, only trying to save her own life, but she would do anything to prove that it is not for her own comfort. Won't take any money from me. Do it all by herself. Stand up and do things by herself. She would allow me to see other women for myself and would live with the pain she is already dealing with me, being with other women. When I told her it's over, I really thought that I finally made my decision to leave. I was going back and forth the last few months, and just now, when we will be at the lawyer's on Tuesday, I'm thinking if I will ever regret it if I see her with a new man where she is a good and happy wife, staying faithful and being a good mother, while I might never be as happy as I was some years ago. And I will have to see her for the next 15 years or so because of our son on the other side. I'm anxious about staying, and she is not holding up the expectation she set for herself, that I will set for her, that she might change back to a cheater again, and I will lose out on another couple of years that I will regret. Staying in 5 years and being mid-30s by then, losing time of my own life. Did any of you ever regret the decision to leave when you saw a real different person update? So, another update. She is a perfect cheater. It's over, and I've left. Still got bad feelings. Talked with her about everything again and again, and some things didn't make sense. I couldn't trust her in anything, so I went for another backup. I found 1 month of conversation, 1 month of her telling how much she loves him, how they want to be together, how they were together, how they fuck and did everything possible. Videos, nudes, everything like a full-grown affair for 9 months. How they are going to leave us, get a new flat, everything you can or cannot imagine. When I confronted her that I know everything, she came home and I told her about everything. I know we had a huge fight because I was just telling her about how we are going to be divorced and that it is over, final, and forever. No coming back. She escalated into that she only wants out of the divorce what she deserves, thinking about 50 of the house and everything we own. I had already talked to my lawyer friend, and he hinted that there might be chances that she will receive much less, as I have that much evidence, and she is the one to blame for the ruined marriage. She got angry and told me about how she will not let my or my parents see my son if I'm going for a dirty divorce. I know that was just an anger reaction, kept cool and calm and proceeded to tell about everything that will happen from now on. She went to tell her parents. I brought my son to bed, and when she came we had another fight about the phone. She wanted everything. I had to delete. Nope, keeping that as evidence again. If we go the dirty way, I won't see my son, and so on. Full anger mode. Went to see Maya and her father. Her father was devastated and crying for 2 hours while he met with my father before they understand everything. Her father apologized and told me that this was unfair and he can't believe what she had done. Went on to see my best friend and talk to him and to cool down. When I came home, she wanted to have another talk. She agrees that she fucked up hard, that she couldn't stop it, as she was enjoying exploring other ways than just being with one man her whole life. She ended it multiple times. He started it multiple times again. Herself too. She was addicted and admits to it for some time. She wanted to shame me for not helping her out, while I offered her multiple options to come clear and help, and I was always there for her. Nothing to blame on me. She hoped that I would ask her to quit her job, to get out of it, as she couldn't herself. She really wants to get B.